how did this obsession, addiction thing start for you?
This is interesting. So it's a 2-part story.
Please.
I started at 28, but I actually unofficially started at 24. I went to a local no-gi gym. I was playing rugby. I actually wanted something that might make me better at rugby. And I went to 2 sessions and we learned to triangle. And then fast forward that weekend, in the UK, there was an event called The Church. Aussies and Kiwis, you'd go to it. And it was like a midday rave on a Sunday in the Clapham Grand, but you just go there from the night before, but it was fancy dress. So they didn't even have a license for alcohol. So you'd buy a raffle ticket, but every ticket was a winner. And you'd get 4 cans of booze that they put in a plastic bag. And it was feral. So like we had like I'm pretty sure we had like a UV party, or no, it was Army v Navy, the rugby. So we went up dressed as like army, face paint, whatever. And that night, we get back to my mum and dad's, but it's 9 p.m, but we're fucking smashed because we started drinking like 10 a.m. So the weird thing is the Clapham Grand kicks out at 4 p.m. People are just out shopping and stuff, and you're obliterated, slurring your words. And then my mate, I think he was like taking his shoes off at my mum and dad's, and I slap him around the back of the head, and he's rugby tackled me. And I've just put him in a triangle. I've just learnt it this week. It's the only move I know in jiu-jitsu. And I remember just pulling on his head, or even maybe pulling on my shin. And next thing I know, he's just out cold. So when I open my legs, his head just hits the floor, like the tile. Oof. But the people around me, they start screaming, thinking I've killed him. But then this made me feel like I'd killed him. My sister screams. My mum and dad come through from the kitchen. Like, I've never seen it take someone so long to come round. It felt like minutes.
Oh, wow.
But I think it was maybe 45 seconds to a minute. His name was Rob. And then he stood up and passed out again because he wasn't expecting to pass out. And like for 45 seconds there, I actually thought my life was over. Like I've killed one of my mates. And also because I've only been to 2 sessions, no one's told me I'll lift the legs, rub the chest. This is normal.
All the time.
I've just watched films where they just choke them for 10 seconds and they're
they
dead.
die.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it again for 4 years. So that's the first part. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Because I was like, I'm going to kill someone.
Shit is witchcraft.
Yeah.
Too deadly.
I was like,
Rob hasn't been the same since, by the way. Go on.
he was a bit fucking weird before. So then the next was I was living with a bodybuilder in Bondi, and we were in Freshwater Beach, and we were just
Bodybuilder, drug dealer?
a little bit, yeah. Stripper as well.
Of course.
Quintessential.
All the best. The
And he-
Trinity.
Bigger than me, stronger than me. And I remember like we got into like a tussle on Freshwater Beach, and he ended up taking me down, but I put him in like what I now know as closed guard, and I couldn't do anything with him. He's bigger than me, stronger than me, and I remember feeling quite powerless at that time. A really weird thing, right? Never really felt powerful before, but that moment, no matter what I was trying to do to him, I couldn't get him. And I thought, if I go away now and I start like jiu-jitsu or I inquire in my local gym, one day if this happens again, I could have him. And I'll never forget that feeling of powerlessness. So I sent an email to a gym in Bondi. I said, I want to start. It goes, cool. Got my gi, whatever. Started then. And since that, I've never actually been in like a physical altercation in like 6 or 7 years. Never put myself in one, never wanted to be in one. But like, there's part of me deep down that's quite almost excited that one day someone could be being inappropriate on a night out. Someone could be rude to someone, whatever it is. And you could actually step in with some kind of competency. Whereas I went through the first part of my life thinking, because I played rugby, I had some level of competency where I would have just got my head kicked in. So yeah, it was first of all nearly killing someone, then second of all feeling in a pair of budgie smugglers like I couldn't fight my mate who was on steroids and was a stripper.
Inspiring.